here tonight? Yeah, can I? If I can't hear you say that, you're obviously not local. Come on. Where you at? Where you at? Awesome. Maybe you guys can help me out. There's a billboard downtown that says, "Learn to read." Who the fuck is that for? Take a look. It's over by the library in the CBD. I get it, okay? I get it. It's like the library's not just for sleeping. I get it. But like, either you know what it says and you don't need it, or you don't know what it says and your girlfriend's really fucking uncomfortable right now. I'm just saying. I've lived out here 8 years. When I first came to New Orleans, I was like, wow, a lot of people have bikes out here. But now that I've lived in New Orleans, I'm like, wow, a lot of people have DUIs out here. Yeah, I don't give a shit about the environment. Like, it's $2,700 to get my license going, but it's better than waiting for my aunt to pick me up. Still Pride Month, woo! So you have Pride Month, you have Father's Day, you have Juneteenth. So if you're a black gay dad, this is your time to shine! Wear those rainbow-colored tassels to PTA meetings. Just kidding. Who the fuck goes to PTA meetings? Lydia told me nobody goes to PTA meetings. Just figured I'd go ahead and just put it out there. I'm not gay. I'm from Miami. We all look like this. Like, we might go to a bachelor party or a walk on the beach. Definitely a nightclub, and then we have nothing but like fruit snacks and cocaine to get us through the day, so we just dress for fucking whatever. I have to wear brightly colored clothing because I found out recently that I have resting bitch face. I found out in a weird way. You can stop laughing, I know, thank you. No, he does look angry, yeah. I found out in a weird way. Every time I stand by the entrance of a club or a bar, people show me their ID. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, you just look, I don't know, like you have no friends and you're just here. The guy started doing it, I'm like, oh, you're being forward. The girls are doing it, I'm like, okay, this is getting ahead of the game, thank you. No swiping at all. Nice. I'm apparently what they call metrosexual, which at first I was like really confused because like I've never fucked on public transit. You know what I mean? Like, who fucks on a bus? You know what I mean? Like, are you getting off here? Because I'm about to, you know? No? The girl says she's into trains. You don't know what the fuck that means. All right, we're good. We're having fun. The world is like way too politically correct. Word choice is really important. One of my friends, Dan, true story, not giving his full name, just know he exists. He was like, you know what? I'm not ashamed of it. I like to fuck big girls. And everybody cheered him on, thought that was super cool. Another friend says, well, actually, I like to fuck little girls. No one talks to him. You know what I'm saying? Should have said short. Should have said petite. But all we hear is underage, stay away from my fucking sister. You know what I mean? He's short. You know? So he's not going to walk around with a step stool every time he wants to make out, is what I'm saying. Word choice is important. Perfect example. When I first moved to New Orleans, I moved to Treme because HBO told me to. Anyway, so I'm at a coffee shop. I'm about to head back home. One of my neighbors feels compelled to warn me. He said, listen, now's not a good time to go back to the building. The cops have it blocked off because they're shooting out there. They meant to say filming. They meant to say filming. I just fucking moved. I'm like, no, I'm good, thanks. I'm all right. All right. You see, word choice is important. Like, you can't even call him a mailman anymore. You got to call him person. It's a funny joke. Your guys love it. Anyway, doesn't matter if they have a package or an envelope. It's not yours. Don't touch it. My mom was really worried. Growing up, my mom was really worried because I have two sisters, one above, one below. I have the prettiest hair. That's what she tells me. My mom was really worried because when I was 12, she went into my room and saw that some of my sister's Barbie dolls were in my room. So she's like, no, I want a man. I want a boy. So she took those Barbie dolls away. She got me G.I. Joes. It was so difficult to masturbate to G.I. Joes, if I'm being honest. I know, it's mostly dudes. If I'm being You know, and then you got the Cobra Commander, that's a mirror mask and a jacket. I'm like, fuck it, that's a woman in there. We're gonna figure shit out. I feel like her plan totally backfired. She's like, what are you doing with all these naked women with nipples? Here's some dudes in uniform. Don't be gay. What didn't help is that when I was in high school and college, I was in cheerleading. NC All-American, thank you, okay. So that didn't help my mom. She was just like, oh, so you're a cheerleader. Of all the fucking things, you're a cheerleader? And I'm like, Mom, I'm really good at math. The squad has 18 girls and only 4 dudes. And we go out of town every single week, so you're welcome. But my mom wanted me to play like more manly sports. Like, are there football fans here? Yeah? Okay, I need louder applause. I need to know how many of you. All right, I'm so sorry for what I'm about to do to you. So I'm not a big fan of football. This is a true story. I'm sitting at Hooters with my friends. I'm watching women's beach volleyball, okay? Women in skimpy swimsuits doing this with sand for 2 hours. I'm enjoying myself. My friends are watching football. They go over to me and they're like, dude, that's why everybody thinks you're gay, man. Because you don't watch football. Here's what I said. And I'm again sorry, you'll never see football the same. So I say, all right, so you think that I'm gay because I don't like to get together with men and then go to bars that are filled with men. And all those men are looking at TV screens of men. And all the men in the TV screens are grabbing other men in an attempt to get their balls. I haven't seen much football, but I've heard things like penetrating deep into the tight end. I've heard chasing down a wide receiver, posting up for a fullback. All right, they wear pads. My sister wears pads. I get that, no problems. But the whole thing, honestly, if you don't know enough about football, it sounds like cosplay. You know, it's like, I'm going to dress up as a Viking, and I want you to dress up as a cowboy. And they're writing it down real low, real fucking low. Stare at me, look at me. Now, when that man blows, I'm going to push at you, and I want you. Don't fucking look away. Look at me. Push against me. Okay. If that isn't hetero enough for you, there's a version of this sport you can enjoy in the privacy of your bathroom called fantasy. Fantasy football. But if you want to play fantasy football, you got to know a lot more about those men. Am I right? How tall is he? How much does he weigh? What's his favorite position? What schools did he go to? How is he feeling emotionally, but also physically? Because I put $400 on that motherfucker, and I need him to win and pay rent, am I right? One thing I've never understood, okay, you call them world champions, right? Like world champions, no other countries ever fucking show up. Can you imagine? It's all US, just national, but that does not sell t-shirts and license plates. We want the world, people. That's what we, also, sorry, I'm about to ruin boxing. I'm really sorry for all this. If you guys want counseling later, I'll talk to you. So boxing, real quick. 2 dudes hardly know each other, brought together with a ring, okay, show up wearing underwear, super tall boots, and a robe, which they take off immediately because the real work is right here, right? And then they start squaring off, and why are they fighting? Why do these 2 complete strangers fight each other? Well, because they want a purse, and they want a belt. Big shiny belt. Doesn't even match most of their outfits, am I being right? Okay. And then when it gets too tiring with these large padded gloves, they just find a corner to really, really cast aside their differences and really talk things out. But the second these 2 sweaty men are hugging each other deeply, this other guy from Foot Locker has the fucking audacity to push them away. Let them work it out, you know? I don't get it. I'm sorry. Football and boxing will never look the same. It's my fault. I don't think I do well with relationships, mostly because girls have this power that men don't. This whole thing where you can call all your females girlfriends. Like, what are you doing tonight? Oh, going out to the club with my girlfriends. And then tomorrow, different girlfriend having brunch. And then Sunday, we're doing mani-pedis with my other girlfriend. Now, back in the day, that was not confusing, but in 2023, we don't know where the fuck you guys are right now. And women can seduce other women in environments men can't compete. Like a fucking bachelorette party, right? Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, am I right? Fuck these guys. But also, like, let's not fuck these guys. Do you wanna, I don't know, make out? Or you're sitting in a fucking dressing room hanging out together, like, no, you're not fat. You're not fat. You're fucking gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Look, take off those jeans. Just look at you. Look at you. You're so beautiful. I don't know why Greg doesn't appreciate you. Also, do you want to just make out real quick? See, my big dilemma, and I know this is a bad thing to say in New Orleans because it's a drinking city, but like I don't drink, right? So when I'm out at the club, when you're a dude and you don't drink and you're at a club or a bar, that is the exact same as going to a playground and having no kids. Like, oh, which one's yours? None of them. Just like seeing the wind in their hair, move on the swing. So I'm at a bar, girl's talking to me because I look this good, thank you. And she's like, what are you drinking? I'm like, ginger ale. She's like, ginger ale and what? I'm like, I don't know, ginger ale and ice? Anyway. So this actually happened. I'm about to get out of here, but this actually happened, okay? So that whole thing goes down. And before I can explain, like, oh, I just don't drink, you know? She puts her finger over my mouth. It smelled like ass. But anyway, puts her finger over my mouth. And she's like, it's not my place to tell you how to live your life. But I don't think a bar's a good place for someone who's obviously an alcoholic. And I don't care how cute you are, I have made promises to my friends and my family. I can't put them through that again. So even though I want to continue talking to you, I have to walk away. And as she walks away, pulls her finger away, still smells like ass. Anyway, I'm just like, you thought I was cute? Like, why didn't you just start? I can drink, no problem. We can start a relationship from that. But if I'm being honest, you guys, when I tell people I don't drink, they always assume that there's a story. That either me, my mom, or my dad has some bad drinking problem. There's no story. I just don't like the taste of alcohol. I also don't eat mayonnaise. But that's because my dad beat the fuck out of me with a mayonnaise jar. You guys have been great, thank you so much.